Hi guys, Patty from Patty's Crafty Spot, and today we are going to start page 2 of our Snowman Mini Album. So in the previous video, we went ahead and made these pages here. I still do have to make one more for my book because we are going to make 3 of them. And this is going to be page 2. So again, we are featuring the new dies for November from Crealies, and in this one I used the big labels and tags, and this one is number 19, and this one has all the rough edges, which I really like that die. And we're also using On the Move right here, and this is On the Move 1 or A, and this is usually used for like a lot of card makers, so I'm going to show you a fun way to go ahead and add it into your album. And I'd already made my sample page, so right here I have my little tags with the cute little rough edges, and then right here is, now I just tucked it under because it was a little sticking up a little bit, but it goes like this, so it's down closed, and then when you open it up, you can see how thick it is, or maybe not, but it pops up, so when I put my tags in, it looks nice like that, but they stick up. And that's only because there's nothing to weight this down. And I didn't want to warp anything, so I did go ahead and tuck it in so it will lay flatter, just till it gets in the book. And then it can live its happy little way. But, right here. So these go like this. And then what you would do is take them out, and then it pops up, and you can see the nice dimension that it gives. So it almost works like the other one that we had made that popped up. The name is eluding me at the moment, but a nice fun one. So we're going to go ahead and make this. So again, keeping in mind the sizes of 8 1/4 by 8 1/4, I went ahead and cut out my pieces. So I have this one here, 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. And I have a pocket that I made, and this one is 8 inches long by 2 inches wide, and I scored at 1/2 inch on each end and 1/2 inch at the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and cut and snip off the little corners. And give these a fold. Now I made a nice little shallow pocket just because I wanted to make sure I had room over here on this one for spacing. I could have went a little deeper. If you wanted to make it a little more deeper, you can go ahead and do that. But I went for a nice little shallow pocket on that one. And you want to go ahead and burnish it down. And the first thing you want to do is go ahead and add your background paper first. So you're going to go ahead and center it to the space and glue it down. So do that first. Glue, tape, whatever you like. I'm using glue. And make sure I am all lined up. It's good. And then my pocket, which I want to center to the bottom, center to the space, and put it to the bottom. So let's give that a little sturdy. So I'm going to set it down. I want to leave like a small little 1/8 of an inch at the bottom. So when I have it where I want it, Stick it down. Now, where's my tape? One little trick I like to do, now this isn't going to have an issue because it is a very shallow pocket, but sometimes when you go to stick something in a pocket, it catches on this, with the part that you've stuck down here. So I like to just go ahead and add a piece of tape there, and it almost creates like a ramp, so your tags, when they go in, they'll just slide right over that, and you won't have to worry about them catching. But this is a shallow pocket. It's not really going to make a difference, but just a little hint. So go ahead and stick this down. So if you want to make sure you don't have it bowing, press in the middle and then go out so it's flat. If you put it on the edges and then go in, you might get a little warped on you. But you want to go for a nice flat look. And then I've already cut out my bottom piece, so I can stick that one down. Use that one. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut out my pieces for the top part. Okay, so I cut out some pieces. So when you cut out this nice big die, this gives you all the cut lines and the score lines that you need to make your card. So basically now this is what we have. So we're going to go ahead and fold it. So to start with, we can go ahead and fold it straight in the middle. I'm just going to use my finger to lightly get it pressed down and then go ahead and crease it good. So now what you want to do is take the center piece, and I just like to kind of fold gently on them. So then you have this piece here, because I just kind of want to train the folds right now. And then fold it both ways. Remember, just go careful. All right, and then what you can do is the card should sort of fold up. So once it starts to fold nicely, you can go ahead and really press those in. And then flip it over and do it the other way. Okay, and then once you get everything creased nice, you can go ahead and fold it up and then really give it a good burnish. All right, so we have that. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to cut a piece of black cardstock because we need to cover the back, just because of when it does pop open, you're going to see like this area here. So we just want to cut some cardstock. So if you fold it in half, measure the distance. So I'm going to go approximately 4 3/4, and then from here to here is 4. So I'm going to double that because I want to get it around the other side. So I'm going to do it 8 by 4 3/4. So I have my piece. So all I want to do with this piece now is I'm going to fold it in half. Burnish it down good so you've got a nice fold there. And basically all I'm going to do is stick it on here to cover the back. So I'm going to add glue, but you don't want to add glue to this center piece right here. You want to add it to the perimeter of this. So let me show you what I'm going to do. All right, so to start, I'm going to do the perimeter of the piece I just cut because I don't want anything to squish in. So I'm literally just going to just make a U shape there, and then on the inside here, without getting too close to the edge. So if you see, I'm not quite, this might be a little close, but so now I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I am tucked up nice and tight. And stick that down. And if you're worried about the glue, just pull this one up in case you got any glue underneath until it dries, and you won't have to worry about it. So now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Remember, don't put anything in the middle because you're going to stick this part here. So just a U shape around here, and then a U shape around the centerpiece. Again, it's right there. And then just fold it over. And then open it up, make sure your glue isn't there, so I did good. So now basically this is what you have. So then your card would pop up, and you just went ahead and sealed the back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a piece of my paper to the top. So to go ahead and make this piece here, I'm using this same piece still, and I went ahead and cut my pattern paper. So I laid this down and cut out my piece that I wanted to see here. So keep in mind this is the center, which is not going to go past, when you put this on, it's not going to go past that. Alright, so I have that just like that. Now I want a little bit of the black to show, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and trim very little off on that. So let me show you. This in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to literally cut a thin little sliver. And just a tad more. So when I mean a sliver, I mean a sliver. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut the other side. Now, if you don't want a black border around it, you don't have to. You can keep it the same size as your base piece. So again, a little sliver. Alright, so I have that. And I'm just going to ink my edge real quick. And it will show you what to do about your little flappy part. Alright, so now you cut your piece out, but you have this part here, but we don't want it to be like kind of hanging out. So I'm just going to turn it over and take out my tape, and I'm just going to tape down those pieces. So basically, I'm resealing up my lines. And now it's one piece. You'll still see the lines and stuff on it, but it's not going to be flapping. So you have that part now. So for this one here, I am just going to fold it all down. So I'm tucking this flat because I want a nice flat surface right now. And this guy is going to go just like that. So now you see cutting those little slivers off. You went ahead and created a nice border, And then if you just bring it up just a little bit from the bottom, you'll get a border on the bottom too. Where if you went all the way flat and didn't trim anything, you would have no black showing. Oops. Like that. However, I want a little bit showing. So what I'm going to do is line it up to where I need to trim it. And I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to make a little mark. And now I'm just going to cut off across the top. So then I just cut the little piece at the top off. If I set it back down, you will see I leave a little thin black line right there. So now I'm just going to ink the top edge. And I'm just going to glue it down now. So now you can put glue on the whole thing. So the glue all on this will keep this part, the centerpiece that we stuck down, attached. Stick this guy down. And there we go with that. So now it'll open up, and then we have this piece. So then I went ahead already and I cut out my centerpieces. So now with this die here, you get 2 centerpieces. So you get one larger one and one smaller one. So if you wanted to go ahead and do a border of a different color, you could, because you got the 2 sizes here. However, for this one here, I'm just literally using the large one because I only want, again, I want to keep in line with just that little thin bit of black right there. So I decided not to cut the centerpiece, the smaller one. So I did that. So now we can go ahead and stick that part down. So my bottom piece is going to go just like that. If it's directional paper, make sure you pay attention to the direction. There's that one. And I'm just going to turn it around and put this little guy on the top. The nice thing about the dies too is they're not a solid die. You can see through them, so you can line up your pattern paper however you want to cut it. So for example, when I did my paper, I wanted to make sure this little birdie was in the center. So when I put it on my paper, I just made sure when I put it, I taped it down and put it right over top of him so I could cut him out. All right, so we have this part now. So we'll pop up. So all I got to do now is cut the pieces for here. All right, so I went ahead and cut out my little pieces, so I can just go ahead and add them down now. And we are actually almost done making these. And then I cut out my little pieces. So you can either add some decorative paper to kind of break up a picture if you wanted to, or you can use these for photos. You cut out little photos and set them in there. It would be super cute. No, let me just do it this way instead. No, he was cute. Too bad I glued him up. This way. And last one. So this comes with 4 different inner pieces. So this one is a stitch line. See the stitches there. And then the one I used in this one was the dots. So I don't know how you can see the dots. Where's my camera? There you go. There's the dots. And then it comes with one with the holes and a smooth one. So you can have lots of fun using the different types of patterns on those pieces. And there we go. And now we have our piece that will pop up like this. If you wanted to, you could always add pattern paper back here. However, I don't think you're really going to see it. So if you don't have a lot of paper, I would not bother wasting putting paper back there if you're limited. If you have extra, by all means, go ahead and add that. So now the only thing left to do is go ahead and attach this right like that. So let's get some glue on. I'm going to go a little heavier in the center and careful on the outsides. And for this, I don't want to get glue on this part, so I'm going to tuck that in. Just turn it. So make sure I'm eyeballing it to the center, and I'm going all the way to the top. And I'll explain why in 1 second while we go to the top. So for this right here, you want it to be able to open. So if you don't go all the way to the top, this fold line right here will get caught on the paper below, and you won't get it to go up nice. So this way, if you go all the way up to the top, this piece here is not going to rub on the cardstock below. All right, and that is how we make that. So for this book, you're going to want to go ahead and make 3 of them again. And this one was a short little video. Work has me crazy, so I didn't make it too much longer, but super cute. And then, of course, then your tags, if you make the tags, go in the bottom to keep everything closed. Alrighty. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you're watching it on the Crealies YouTube channel or mine, Patty's Crafty Spot. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, guys, happy crafting. Bye.